Okay, now looks like we're live. All right. So very good to see you all here. If you hear me, if you see me, say hello in the chat. Say that the audio is good. Yesterday I was trying to do this live here, and I got no audio to begin with. How about that, right? No audio, and we had some. The chat was not working. There's all kind of problems yesterday, but today I think everything's okay, right? Actually, I sent the wrong link, right? So let's see. Hopefully everything is good today. So if you can hear me, if you're there, let me know. You can let me know on the chat, or you can let me know on Twitter, right? Actually, let me see if I should if the message on Twitter went okay, right? To see if that the link actually works this time, right? And let's see what we're gonna do here today, right? So basically what we're gonna talk about today is, I'm answering questions for people that registered to the Developer Career Day, the International Developer Career Day that's happening this Friday, right? So I'm taking some time to actually come here and answer questions, right? Questions that people already made. Okay, so audio okay, says Flavio. Hey Flavio, so good to see you, man. Long time that we don't talk, right? Good to see you there. Excellent. Bruno Rocha says hello Bruno, how are you doing? Awesome, right? So audio is good, and I can see here that, let me see if the link on Twitter that actually worked at this time, right? Hopefully it did, because yesterday was so many things going wrong, but I think, yeah, so actually I can see this on the Twitter. It's working well. Oops, and I'm just starting. Okay, good. All right, so everything is working. So hi Denise. Look, how wonderful to see you, Denise. Yes, I'd love to help you with your career. So tell me what's going on. And I'd love, actually you could help me with my career. Actually, Denise, let if you want to come here, we're gonna do this international event on Friday. If you want to come and explain to developers how they can get their developer career on open source in the right way, that would be awesome if you could show up, right? But yes, that's totally awesome. So hey, Josie, good afternoon. Alvaro saying the audio is okay because maybe Alvaro was here yesterday, or the audio is not working. So totally awesome. Look, I'm here to answer your questions, whatever they are. But let me just kind of see that a little bit. Hey, hi, Gabrielle. So let me see this a little bit because I've got so many questions at the event, right? So, for example, I was looking here. Jorge asked the following question. He says, sometimes I think that I don't know as much as I should, right? Sometimes I have a bad feeling when I can't do something. Seems like I'm not a good developer. I'm very anxious and have no focus in my studying, right? There are many things to learn. Which should I start, right? So that is a very awesome question, Jorge. So Jorge, thanks a lot for asking this question. It's a very good question, and you're being very vulnerable, right? When you ask this, right? That's one of the kind of questions that's very hard for you to ask for a coworker, for example, right? Look, I think I don't know enough, right? What do you think, right? So it's good that you're asking here. Cristiano is telling me here that we're going to have another live today. So we're doing this in English, but tonight at 7 p.m. Brazil time, I'm going to have a live with Cristiano to talk about career in Portuguese, right? So you might want to do things. So Denise says, always keep learning. Yes. So that's a great way to solve that question, George. But I'm gonna answer George's question. But before I do, let me just point you guys this here. We're gonna have on Friday. I'm gonna launch on Friday. So that's why I would love to have you with me, Denise, right? Because I'm sure you would love that idea. Because on Friday, I'm going to launch the International Day of the Software Developer Career. I think that we have to discuss the software developer career. I think we have a great opportunity of doing this online for all over the world. So on Friday, we're going to launch the International Software Developer Career Day, right? So let's make this day a day for all developers on the planet to improve their careers, right? So I'd love to be with there. So Alexander, good to see you, man. Excellent. We're also welcome to come uh, um, to the Software Developer Career Day on Friday, man. If you want to do this, so you can register right here. Okay, so it's jav.mn, Javaman. That's me, right? So jav.mn/dev career day, all in small letters, right? So register here. It's 100% free. We have amazing speakers at the event. So I hope to see you there on Friday, right? It's going to be a very open event, lots of discussions, lots of time to talk to the speakers. So I hope to see you all there. So let's talk a little bit. I don't see any more questions here on the chat, right? So if you want to have, so Alvaro is saying, I want to say hello since 1999, man. Awesome, Alvaro. So let me go to George's question, and then I want to see your question. So what is going on in your career right now that I can help you with? I'm going to do these lives here every day at this time until the event on Friday, right? So we can all be ready for the event Friday. So, so the thing is, a lot of developers have this feeling that George is talking about, right? Feel that I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. I'm not even a good developer, right? So a lot of people call this imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome, but just because you have that feeling that you don't know enough, that does not makes you does not characterize imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, it's that constant feeling that you have that you are an imposter, right? That at some point someone around you is going to say, "Hey, you don't know what you're talking about," right? So that's you're gonna be you're lying to us, right? So that's the imposter syndrome. It's this feeling, this constant fear of being find out that I don't know enough, or that I'm not able to do things, right? So if you feel like, Georgie, if you feel this very badly, right? If you feel like this very strongly, and you're afraid of doing things, right? You're worried all the time, and so maybe you're having what we call imposter syndrome. Now, if you only feel things are hard, right, and you don't know enough, and then you have to apply harder to solve a problem, well, that's more normal, okay? Because we all feel this all the time, right? Because software development, it's a very unique thing, because I always say that software development is more art than engineering, right? It has a lot of engineering, right? There is engineering in art, right? But software development is more art than engineering, because every time you do something, it's completely new thing, right? You never do the same thing twice, right? So because of that, we always have the feeling that we don't know enough, right? Because it looks like the first time I'm ever seeing this. It's a new software, it's a new problem, it's a new library, it's a new way of doing things, a new problem that I need to solve. So it looks like, well, look, this is the first time I'm solving this again, right? People that don't have this feeling that, oh, that's the first time I'm doing this again, is because they're doing the same thing for many, many years, right? And so they're actually bored, right? So the idea that you're going to do a new thing and you don't know what it is, right? That's a normal fear we all have, because it's always a new thing. So that's normal. Okay. Now, but if you're feeling really, really bad, right? If you're not able to grow because you feel that you don't know enough, right? Or if you're like George, that's I need to study everything, because if I don't study everything, then I'm going to be a bad developer, right? Then maybe you're suffering from what we call imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome, it's a feeling, right? And that prevents us from advancing, right? Because we're so afraid of doing things. We're so afraid of not knowing that we don't try, we don't experiment, we don't go for new opportunities, we don't go for new projects, right? Because we're so afraid that we're not good enough. So so we have to understand that having a little bit of this feeling, having a little bit of this situation, it's a normal thing. And one problem that we have a lot about software development is that we think, here's the big problem, right? We developers think that software development is a hard skill, right? People call this a technical skill. Okay. That's what we think. We think that software development is a hard skill. It's a technical skill. And because a hard skill, I should know what I'm doing, because that's what a hard skill is, right? Something that I know what to do, right? I practice enough and I know what to do, right? And but the problem is that developers think that software development is a hard skill because we associate hard skills with technical. But let me tell you one thing. A hard skill, it's not technical in the sense that we talk technology. It's not a technology. It's technical because there is a technique. Okay, so it's not technical from technology. It's technical from technique. So a hard skill is one that there is a specific technique for you to apply. So for example, when you type on the keyboard, there is a specific technique, right? You have to, even if you don't look at it, right? The keyboard is upside down. You can find the little bumps on the keyboard, and I know exactly what I need to put my fingers, right? Even if I can't see the keyboard, right? You see that I have the right place, but I'm not even seeing the keyboard. Why? Because there is a technique that allows me to do this, right? And so the better I am in typing the keyboard, the more precise. That's one point. A hard skill, it's hard, not because it's difficult. It's hard because it's precise, right? And so it's a precise because there is a technique that I need to do. It's not technical in technology. It's technical as a technique. And so what happens is, if I learn the technique and I be very precise on the technique, then I'm better at that skill. So typing in the keyboard is a very, very good example of a hard skill. Playing the strings of a guitar, very good example of a hard skill. Hitting the ball on a tennis court, it's a hard skill, right? Or I don't know how you start the game, right? That's a hard skill, right? So all of those are hard skills. There is a technique for you to learn. Now, the other type of skill is soft skill. And developers, right? That's why George is asking that question, because developers think that soft skills about communication, right? Oh, I don't have to worry about this. I need to worry about the technical skills, the hard skills, right? And soft skills about communication, so I don't have to worry about them. But that's not true. Soft skills, they're not soft because they're easy. They're soft because they are malleable. What a malleable skill means? Every time I apply that skill, it is completely different, right? I don't do the same thing over and over and over. There's no technique to do it, right? A soft skill is a pattern matching, right? A soft skill is one that I recognize a situation and I apply different strategies to solve that. It's not a technique, it's a set of strategies that I apply to solve the problem. Make sense this? Right? So that's one thing I wanted you to understand. Software development is a soft skill. Software development itself, it's not a hard skill. A hard skill could be typing on the keyboard. That's a hard skill. Your programming language, it's a hard skill, right? Because a programming language is a technique, right? You can't just type on a column, for example, anywhere, right? Or decide whatever you want to do or whatever you want to write. There is a specific way, a precise way they use a programming language. So programming language is a hard skill. But software development itself, the thing that we do all the day, it's a soft skill. And why this matters in terms of, that's why so many developers think that they have imposter syndrome. Why? Because they think that software development is a hard skill, and so it's a precise skill, and they should know it, right? And they should know every time they're going to do software, they should know exactly what they're doing. But that's not true, because software development is not a hard skill. Software development is a soft skill. It's a pattern matching skill. And so it means that every time you see a problem, it's different, right? And so every time you see it, it looks like completely different. It looks like I don't know what it is. And then I have to pattern matching to things that I did in the past, to new ideas, and try to combine them and come up with a solution, because software development is a malleable skill, right? So once you understand that software development, it's it's malleable, right? Then the whole idea of imposter syndrome kind of loses steam a little bit. Why? Because now you really understand that every time you're going to do something, it's going to be slightly different. And the feeling that you have of inadequacy, of not knowing enough, of never having done that, that's exactly what it is, right? That's exactly what you should feel. And so once you realize, so I'm feeling a little bit off every time I'm going to do a project, that's the normal thing. Yes. So then you're going to be happy, right? Instead of you having imposter syndrome, right? You're going to be okay. So that is being a software developer, right? So that's something that you guys should really understand. And we're going to talk more about that at the event, right? So on Friday, I'm going to launch the International Developers Career Day, right? So you come here, jav.mn, Dev Career Day, and then we're going to have. Let me see if I can post here. So right, so International Developer Career Day. It's going to be Friday and Saturday. So I'm just going to put the link here. Hopefully it's going to show to everyone. All right. Okay. So if you can join there, yeah, it's posting everywhere, it looks like. So if you can go there, and I put the link there, but it's always here on the screen if you want. And I hope to see you on Friday. So let me see questions here. So Renato says, "Hey Renato, so good to see you, man. Long time. That's awesome. Let me see who else here. Paolo. Okay, man. Excellent. It's a pleasure to be here with you. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Paolo. That's awesome. Now, Gabriel asks, Java open source project. So Java, Gabriel, is one of the most used languages. It's like the top 2 or 3 languages of open source projects, right? So there's a bunch of open source projects you want to be part of, right? That you might want to be interested. So the cool thing about Java is that Java can be used in anywhere, in any kind of things. Can be used in mobile projects, can be used in server-side projects, cloud projects, IoT projects, can be used in so many different things. That in Java is extremely fast, right? So that means projects that really need speed are using Java. So that means that some of the top projects in the planet are written in Java. And so you, as a Java developer, can participate in a lot of cool stuff. There's artificial intelligence projects, there are big data projects, there are cloud infrastructure projects. There's so many cool things done in Java. ERP projects, music projects, everything done in Java, right? So you can choose what you like. So if you're searching, Gabriel, if you're searching for an interesting project to participate, look for something that you like, for something that that interests you, right? Something that matters to you, and because it matters to you, then you then you can work, right? Then you're going to be interested in participating on that project. So every time you want to participate in an open source project, look something that's interesting to you. It could be interesting because you're using it. So that could be a tool they use, a framework that you use, or a library that you use. It could be interesting for you because it solves a problem that you have, right? But it could be interesting for you because it's fun for you, right? And so you could do games, you could do, there's a lot of people that can do music. I'm gonna be on a live tomorrow, Wednesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday at it's gonna be 5 p.m. Brazil time. That means I don't know, like 1 p.m. Pacific time, for example. I'm gonna be on a live with James Gosling, right? So it's gonna be me, Kleber Moraes, and Vinicius Sanger. Both Vinicius and Kleber and James they're all 3 for Amazon, and I'm the outsider there, I guess. But we're gonna talk with James Gosling tomorrow, and so Vinicius, the guy's gonna be with me tomorrow with James Gosling. He created an open source project about boats, right, and surfing. Okay, so you can create any kind of open source project or you can participate on interesting open source projects that are cool for you, Gabriel. Okay. So I see Deborah. Hey, Deborah. So long we don't talk, right? Good to see you. I still remember so many amazing times that we had at Sun. So good to see you, Deborah. Um, love Java forever for sure, right? Uh, so Sergio says, great, Bruno. I'm putting effort after the pandemic. A lot of new roles will be open in the USA and others. With a lot of people going to home office, new positions will search for us. Yes, I think you're right, Sergio. I think you're very right. And by the way, Sergio, let me tell you this. I wrote an article about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? If you go to my blog, there is, I'm gonna go put here, HTTP, Code for Life, code4.life/blog. I wrote an article there, or you can find it on dev.to. You can search me on dev.to or Medium, right? You can search, there's everywhere. I wrote an article that says, that gives you a strategy for after the pandemic, right? So you should do right now, Serge. You should start planning your strategy for after the pandemic. Good to see you too, Deborah. Excellent. So there's a question here from Sergio, and Sergio asked, another Sergio, it's two Sergio here, right? So Sergio Gama has asked, hard skill is everything we need to know to do a specific activity. Core is skill. Soft skill help you, can accelerate activity, make it easy, open doors, but it's not mandatory. No, Sergio, no. This is completely wrong, Sergio. Sorry to say that, right? I'm gonna go Islam on this because it's completely wrong. No, soft skill is completely mandatory. It's not optional, right? And hard skill is not everything we need to know to do specific tasks. No, Sergio. Let me go back here. Very important, this, guys, because it affects your brain, right? So hard skill, Sergio, it's all this. So both hard and soft skill are necessary and mandatory to do activities. You can't, most activities that we do have both hard and soft skill. There's a lot you can't do unless you are a very specific person, like like you're like you're a worker, kind of having to I don't know, do like one thing the whole day. Then you may only need hard skills, right? But that's like no one, right? No one today does that. Okay, so remember Charles Chaplin, that he had this pliers that he had to kind of keep the whole day doing the same thing over and over. That's a hard skill. A hard skill is the thing that's repetitive, that you do over and over and over and over. It's the same thing over and over and over and over, right? So a hard skill, for you to only use hard skills, you would have to be doing the same thing the whole day long. So no, Sergio, this is basically hard skill is everything that is repetitive, there's precise, that you can't make a mistake. Everything that's precise is a hard skill. So typing on the keyboard, that's a hard skill, right? So if all you do the whole day long is type on the keyboard without thinking, right? No thinking, just typing. So like you're reading a text and just type on the keyboard, right? You're copying the text to the keyboard. If all you do, that's you only using hard skill the whole day long, right? But the true thing is, most of the time, you're solving problems. And solving problems is a soft skill. Problem solving is 100% soft skill. So basically, soft skills, Sergio, are extremely necessary things. They're extremely important. And so unfortunately, people don't realize what the difference, and the difference between those two? In your brain, they're very similar. They're very, very similar in the brain. But the difference is how you learn them. You learn hard skill by doing repetition, and you learn soft skill by doing different things. So because developers think that software development is a hard skill, we try to learn software development by doing repetition. But software development is a soft skill. So we should do software development by trying to solve different problems. Okay? So very, very important. Everything you do in your life, you need both hard and soft skill. So examples of hard skills for software development: typing on the keyboard, IDE shortcuts. For example, your programming language, right? Code katas. Code katas are a good example of you practice your hard skills, right? Now, examples of soft skills for software developers, right? Solving problems. That's the most important skill that we all need. Solving problems. any kind of development, right? You're going to do you're going to create a UI, right? That's completely soft skill, right? So, so most of what you do every day, Sergio, is soft skill. It's not hard skill. So very, very important thing. Very, very important distinction. All right. So let me see what else here. What do I think about the Spring framework? Look, I love tools, right? I love tools. So I think that the more tools that we know about, right? As you don't see there, but behind this board here, right? There's a lot of tools, right? So those are hardware tools, I guess, right? So I love tools. So I think that as a developer, we should know as many tools as we can. So frameworks are tools, right, that we use for different purposes, right? So I think Spring is awesome. There's so many people using Spring. There's such a large community. So I think Spring is awesome. Hey, gentlemen, I'm mostly a web dev, but also have some Java and C small projects. How to show them in a portfolio, or just the code on GitHub is enough? So, Andre, well, of course, having the code on GitHub is good enough, right? It's a good start. I think you can improve that a little bit by having a nice README on GitHub. I'm not sure if you guys seen this, but GitHub allows you now to edit your README there, right? So you can have for your profile, so you can do different things. Search online, you're gonna see all these cool examples that people are doing, right? So it's not only put there, right, Andre? Just leaving things as they are, it's not enough. You have to talk about them, right? So my suggestion to you, how to show them, first of all, having a portfolio where people can see, that's a good thing, right? Have a nice README, have a nice page. But what I suggest you to do, Andre, is go talk about them, present on events, write articles, talk on Twitter, discuss those projects. You have to present them. You have to promote those things. You have to talk about them everywhere, right? So Sergio Suarez says, we read, of course, the article, right? I'm ready to prepare myself to enter an awesome new project. So thanks a lot, Sergio. So Sergio Gama said, I got it. Excellent, Sergio. Awesome. Luan says, I like explanation about hard and soft skills. These days, people use this term soft skills for more social behavior, I guess. Yes, Luan, this is a big problem. Look, in English, it's already hard enough. Hard skills, people think, oh, hard skills are the difficult ones. No. Hard skills are precise, right? So, but in English, at least, we have the distinction between precise skills, hard, and soft skills, malleable. Now, in Portuguese, when we translate that to Portuguese, even worse. Because in Portuguese, we say, we call hard skills, we call technical skills. And it's not the same thing, right? Because there are technical skills that are hard, they're precise, and there are technical skills that are soft, right? So in Portuguese, we mix those two, and it doesn't make sense. So, and we also call, like you said here, we call soft skills, we call, social behavior or behavior skills or communication skills or emotional skills, right? So we call those things in Portuguese. And then it's not true either, because there are communication skills that are hard, and there are also communication skills that are soft. For example, voice control. I don't have an awesome voice, right? I mean, I'm hurting your ears right there. I know this, and I talk too loud. I know that, right? So, but because I don't have a very good voice control. But you got a singer, for example, that has an awesome voice control. That is a hard skill right there, right? This is a hard skill that you need to have, right? It's a precise skill. You have to have precise control of your throat muscles to be able to sing well. That's a hard skill. It's a precise skill. Now, singing on a show with the audience, that is a soft skill. So you're never going to be a good singer if all you have is the voice control, right? You have to have the soft skill that goes together. Make sense? So everything it's a match of both things. So Flavio is saying, boa tarde, Sergio. So Flavio, we should find time to talk together, man. That would be awesome. How the best way to learn Java ecosystem? Any tutorial or book or anything else? So Tanvir, the best way for you in anything, especially talking about the ecosystem, right? it's to go do things, right? Skills. Look, skills. Doesn't matter if hard or soft, but skills. You only you only get skills by practicing, by doing things, right? So, you should go do things, right? So what you can do, Tanvir, do you want to, if you want to learn the ecosystem, I'm kind of not so sure about what you call the ecosystem, but if you want to go the ecosystems, I think you should go to events, you should go to user groups, you should actually use the fact that everyone's online today, right? To participate on what's going on. Because the best way for you to start understanding the ecosystem itself is meet other people, meet other developers. So congratulations for you being here, Tanvir, because that's totally awesome. And we're going to do an event on Friday. So you come here, jav.mn/dev career day, right? Or go to my Twitter. I'm gonna tweet about this very soon. So it's gonna be Friday and Saturday, right? So we're gonna have lots of discussions, lots of talks about skills and career discussion, all of that. So you are all welcome to participate. It's 100% free. I hope to see you there on Friday. You're gonna say, Bruno, Friday when? When? Right now, at this time of the day, right? So I'm doing the lives every day, exactly the time that starts on Friday. So 1:30 p.m. Brazil time. I think it's 9:30 p.m. U.S. Pacific time. So I'm gonna do lives today, Wednesday, and Thursday, the same time that we start the event on Friday. So it starts at 1:30 p.m. Brazil time. Just go here, register right now, 100% free. I hope to see you there. Renato asks, Bruno, as a professor, I teach Java for my students, but there are lots of new technologies in development world every week that I feel sometimes we are kind of old school and the students often complain about it. But it's impossible to teach all new programming languages and frameworks. Do you have some tips to help beginner students with this kind of code anxiety? So basically, one thing, right, that's actually, oh, you know what? I just realized one thing that I haven't realized before because I can click and highlight you guys, right? So I'm doing this now. Sorry about that. But so one thing that I think you can talk about your students, right, is that it's really important. This Renato, that skills are skills are something that it's larger than the technology, right? Skills something that you only learn, you only build your brain by doing. That's very, very important, right? Basically, we have to understand that skills for us to learn and create skills, we have necessarily to do things, right? And so basically, it doesn't matter what the student is gonna. Of course, we kind of attach it to our first language sometimes, but it really doesn't matter which language or which framework the student learning, right? What matters are the skills behind, right? Learning a new language is a great skill that people don't teach much, right? They just teach one language instead of teaching students to learn new languages, right? Because that's an awesome skill for you to have, learn new language. Learning frameworks. Why should I use Spring or Jakarta EE or Quarkus or whatever framework that exists right now, if in 4 or 5 years from now, that framework is not even going to be the most important one anyway? So your students need to learn how to learn new frameworks, right? So that's why you should teach them. Okay, so you wanna learn a new framework, you wanna use a new language. So let's figure out how you can learn a new language, how you can learn a new framework, right? And do in a way that your students can be very good in learning language or learning frameworks instead of just be worried about learning one, right? They should be learning many of them, right? So I think this is the thing that you have to show them, Renato, that they're not going to be stuck in a single language for all their life, right? The other way around, they need to learn different languages all the time, and so the language professor that I know does an awesome work. It's called Venkat Subramania. He teaches programming languages in the University of Houston, and the way he does that, right, is by getting their students to write code every single day. in whatever language they want, right? Because the language that they're doing doesn't matter as much. What matters really for their careers is doing code every day, right? So and the good thing I like about Java is that Java, you can apply Java to so many different things that the student can learn one language and do lots of different projects. So that's what I like about Java in these regards. So Tanvir says, I'm learning Spring Boot personally by doing some projects, right? I'm a freshman now when I should learn different tools like another framework, right? I mean, after complete a good concept about, okay, so the way you do this, Tanvir, is you do you decide what is it you want to learn. So I want to learn Spring. Okay, so I'm going to do a small project with Spring. Okay, cool. And then you do a project, right? A real project, like you're saying, right? Doing some project. So you do a real project, solve a real problem. Because look, there are 5 skills, 5 important skills that developers need to have, right? 3 of them are code-based. Read code, write code, delivery code. Read code, write code, delivery code. 3 code-based skills. And then 2 others. One that's the most important one, that is solve problems. Developers, you are a software developer because you solve problems. Skill number 4, you solve problems by using code, right? So that's what makes you a software developer, because you're solving problems. So that's, when you do a project, Tanvir, that's what helps you. Now, there's a 5th skill that I think is amazingly important. It's not the most important one, because the most important one is number 4, solving problems, right? The other 3 are very, very important because they are code-based, right? So that's what makes you a developer. Now, the 5th skill is the one that is going to help you grow your career the most. It is sharing. Share what you know. Share what you do. Share your projects with others. Sharing is amazingly important as a software developer. So read code, write code, deliver code, solve problems, share what you know. Those 5 things are going to make you an awesome developer. So how you apply this to your projects? Well, you do projects, right? You solve problems by reading, writing, delivering code. You got to deliver. People have to use your project, Tanvir. Otherwise, it's not enough. And then you share. Go write a blog post about it, explain what you did, tell your friends what you did, tell your students that are studying with you what you did. Go share what you do, and repeat. Go do things. It's not about the tool. It's not about the tool. It's not about the framework. It's not about Spring. It's not about the tool. It's always about the project, right? The whole thing, right? Because you use different tools to solve different problems. All right, makes sense, Tanvir? Okay, so that live here has gone long enough. I think I answered all the questions that I see here from people online. So thanks everyone for being here. We're gonna do another live tomorrow at the same time as this one, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And don't forget to join the International Career Day, right? It's gonna be a whole day focused on the software developer career. The software developer career day. Andre says, thanks for the answer. And following the teacher's question, what is your opinion on learning several languages at the same time, being a beginner or intermediate level? So learning, I'm not sure if there is any scientific research on this, Andre. So I'm going to just say my opinion as you ask it, right? I think that learning many languages at the same time, it's similar to trying to learn multiple spoken languages at the same time. There's an interesting thing, a CAT scan from the brain in a research about maybe 2 months ago showed that learning a programming language uses the exact same areas of the brain as you learning a new language, like English, Portuguese, Spanish, etc., right? So the same area of the brain. So from kids learning multiple languages, we know what? They can learn multiple languages at the same time. Thanks, Flavio. Good to see you tomorrow, man. So you can learn many languages at the same time. But if you mix all of them together, it kind of delays a little bit the brain of the kid. So so it's better. For example, do you want your kids to learn English, for example, right, or in Portuguese at the same time? So it's better that you separate. So, for example, the father, he speaks English. the mother speaks Portuguese. That helps the kids separate, oh, this is English, this is Portuguese, right? So that's the same thing. If you want to teach your students many languages at the same time, I would separate, right? I would do, okay, so this project I do in Java. This project I do in JavaScript. This project I do in something else. Separate so the brain focus on different things. I think that's an interesting way of doing it. So see you tomorrow. I don't know who LinkedIn user is, right? So thanks a lot, LinkedIn user. Great to see you, man, or women. I don't know, right? Your English has improved a lot. Okay, awesome, man. So I don't know last time that we talked, right? But thanks for the compliment. Awesome. Tanvir says, try microservices and do more and more product with Spring Boot, right? I'm getting frustrated. So Tanvir, I don't know what you're getting frustrated about. So let me tell you this, Tanvir. Let me suggest one thing. Come to the event on Friday, and on the events we're going to discuss face to face, right? So then we can talk about it, and we can see. I can mentor you a little bit more, Tanvir, and find out what's going on. All right. So thanks a lot, Andre. Thanks everyone. That's awesome conversation today. We're gonna repeat this again tomorrow, and on Friday we're gonna do it starts at 1:30 p.m. Brazil time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. I think it's like like 3:30 p.m. Europe time, right? So we're gonna be, and for the rest of the day we're gonna work on your career, right? So join there, jav.mn, Javaman, right? jav.mn/dev career day. Okay? Hope to see you there. Awesome to be with you. Thanks a lot.